to get down to business? Join seasoned entrepreneur, community leader, and Army veteran Scott Shalom Klein, who will take you behind the scenes with those who work in America's small business scene and speak with leaders making an impact, creating jobs, and telling their story in entrepreneurship. So let's get down to business. On AM 560, The Answer, here's your host, Shalom Klein.
And indeed, we're all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship in business. We are going to talk all about small business here. We are thrilled to kick off the program today with a global thought leader whose expertise is vital for navigating the modern world. And our guest is Oleg Konovalov, a world-renowned author, business educator, and visionary leadership expert. He's been named the #1 global leading coach. And Oleg has been called the Da Vinci of visionary leadership. He has a new book. It's Beyond Chaos, How to Create Clarity When Everything Falls Apart, which delivers a transformative guide for navigating the complexity that has become the new norm in business and life. Oleg, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Bless you. I'm honored to be on your show. Thank you.
Absolutely. Your book starts from the premise that chaos is no longer the exception. It is the reality. So what do you mean by the true nature of chaos in modern business, and why is it so disruptive to progress?
Well, we're facing tremendous changes every day, and we're changing our mental models. We're not coping. The noise around us is like avalanche over our heads. So we must react to different signals, to different signs, and we hardly could cope with that. It's political changes, social changes, economical turmoils, a huge number of factors, plus we have own personal issues. We're facing them every day, so chaos is a norm. But the problem is chaos is not what around us, it's what within us. Chaos within our minds, that's the issue.
Absolutely. And in your book, you introduce a field-tested framework for developing a strong mindset, and it's spelled P-A-S-S-A-T. And I don't know if you usually pronounce it PASSET, but okay. Can you walk us through the two most critical components of that acronym and how they help us develop an individual escape and allow us to escape that chaos?
Well, briefly through that framework. PASSET. Pause, abundance of opportunity, structured thinking, simplicity, authenticity, and thinking forward. Two most critical elements which we are often missed, and it's most difficult for today's leaders. Pausing for intentional silence, because chaos pushes us non-stop. And you need to stop, you need to be counterintuitive, because clarity is always intentional. Stop and think. Allow your thoughts to meet with solutions. And then structured thinking. These days, we are not thinking in a structured way, like a beautiful dance, 1, 2, 3. Everything in a mess. And therefore, you can't solve chaos with a messy thinking. You must structure your thoughts. If your thoughts are not structured, you are digging a big hole for yourself.
Well, Oleg, this is absolutely fascinating because chaos often causes leaders to procrastinate, and you link strong leadership to structured thinking. What is the difference between chaotic thinking and structured thinking, and how can a leader adopt the latter?
Love the question. Well, I'll put it from big to small. More than 76% of today's leaders have chaotic thinking. Their thoughts are in mess. They become chaos addicted or drama addicted. They are looking for problems. They are not looking for solutions. They don't know where to go. They don't give people any directions. They have multiple priorities. Therefore, they don't have none of priorities. They're trying to chase every signal. Therefore, they are infecting their teams with chaos. But clarity is always an achievement, and you must structure your thoughts. You create that structure all the time, and it leads to systems that you give to people for the sake of performance, for the sake of engagement. You're giving them freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Absolutely.
you're free when you know where to go.
Oleg, you say that if chaos is given to us, clarity is what we create ourselves. How does a leader practically go about transforming disruption into actually a source of growth and strategic focus?
Well, if you have 75% of clarity, more or less, you're a person of function, right? So you're simply following the orders. If you have about 50% of clarity, you're at operational level. If you have less than 25% of clarity, you're at the top level, and you're obliged to create that clarity. And in this sense, clarity is not given, it's always created.
And Oleg, one of the main goals of your book, I know, is to help people stop chaos from getting into their minds. What is the role of personal self-management in conquering external chaos?
Well, chaos is created by many of us, or we are creating chaos together. But we're always facing chaos on our own. And therefore, it's personal responsibility of every one of us to get rid of that chaos. If you can't do this, don't lead people.
You say it so clearly, absolutely. The final component of the Passat framework is thinking into the future. In a world which, as we have already discussed on the program, is changing daily, how far ahead should leaders be thinking? What steps should they take to set compelling goals for that future?
5-10 years? It's normal, because your goals must be greater than today's problems, right? And we will face problems tomorrow and day after, but your goals must be greater all the time. But think of a simple premise. The past is your ego. The present is humility, because we know little and we just on a burning platform of today. But our future is our pride, because in the future could create greater things that I have done before, much greater things.
Oleg, you've worked with C-suite leaders globally.
Yes.
What's the single biggest amplifier of chaos that you see leaders unintentionally introducing into their own organizations?
They are rushing people into a time management instead of energy management. When you have clarity, you are managing energy, and it's simple formula I have for it. Success equals value multiplied by effort squared. If you are clear what kind of value you create and what effort would be applied, your effort and effort of your team, it has nothing to do with time.
And lastly, Oleg, for an entrepreneur listening right now who feels overwhelmed and paralyzed by a lack of focus, what is one simple, easily applicable action that they could take today to begin creating clarity in their business?
Know the facts, real facts, not the noise. Stop listening to the noise. Majority of noise that we are consuming daily is misleading. I am not saying that 20% or 30%. I'm talking 80-90% of noise and signals that we are listening and reacting daily is misleading. Mm-hmm. As soon as you stop that noise penetrating your mind, your brain will get clear.
I'm chatting with Oleg Konovalov, the author of Beyond Chaos, How to Create Clarity When Everything Falls Apart. Oleg, how can we find the book and how can we get in touch with you?
The book is available on Amazon in different formats. You could go on my website, olegkonovalov.com, or find me on LinkedIn. I'm always there.
I know you are. You are so, you provide so much great information for entrepreneurs, small business owners, for all organizations of all sizes. We greatly appreciate bringing you back on the program. Can't wait to have you again next time. Oleg Konovalov, again, Beyond Chaos, How to Create Clarity When Everything Falls Apart. We're going to squeeze in a quick break here on the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You can always go to my website, syklein.com, or find us on your favorite podcast app. Search for Get Down to Business. We'll be right back.